Hi guys, Coach Jess here from Yoga for Runners HQ, and welcome to the third and final installment of our three-part Yoga for Runners challenge. If you haven't already watched part 1 and 2, can you please go ahead and do that now before you proceed with this session? So in our third and final installment today, we're going to be going over a quick post-run sequence you can do after your run. So we all know how important it is to do our dynamic warm-ups and stretches before our run to prepare for our training session, but most of us neglect to do post-run stretches or post-run sequence just to loosen up those running muscles. So today we're just going to go over a quick sequence that you can do as soon as you get home. You don't even need to get changed out of your running clothes or your running kit. So you're going to start off at the top of the mat. Just take a nice deep inhale, relax through those shoulders, gaze up, and exhale, slowly roll the body down. We're just going to hang here. So if you want, you can cross those arms or just let those arms hang. You can sway, rock, maybe bend one knee. Just gently and passively stretching those tired running muscles. And then from here, we're going to make our way into downward facing dog. So plant those palms flat, walking the feet back, taking in a few deep breaths. Moving into lunge position, step your right foot center, take your left leg high, and then sweep the foot between those hands. We're going to come into a lunge here. So you really want to work at opening up through this right hip and hip flexor area. So I'm going to give you a few variations of what you could do now. You can either lower that back knee down to the floor and take the heart away from that front leg. Okay, really reaching up through this right side. If you want, you can extend the arm, or if you're not feeling too tired after your run, for a deeper stretch, you can lock out that back leg. Okay, breathing here, keeping the heart back behind the hips, trying not to let this happen with the body, taking in a few more breaths. Remember, you could have the knee to the floor if the legs are feeling a bit tired. Breathing here, inhale and exhale. 3 more breaths, inhale, exhale, 2 more breaths, exhale, last breath here, releasing hands down on either side of the front foot, uncurling the toes on the back foot if you haven't already. Front heel is glued to the floor, and we're going to walk those hands back, high head to knee pose, finding a long spine with an inhale, release with an exhale. Watch the hips aren't shifting to the right. Left hip is in line with your left heel. Keep those toes active and pulling towards the face. We're not looking in towards the body. We've got a nice long spine. It's okay to have a little bend through this front leg if you need to. Straightening it out as much as possible though. Breathing deep. Try to relax the jaw and the belly. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. From here, we're going to come forward onto the hands, ground those palms, curl the toes on the back foot, inhale. On an exhale breath, we're going to come back into downward facing dog. Just hold it here, finding some length through the spine. If those calves are feeling tight, you can just alternate your heels to the mat. We're going to come into a pose now called half pigeon. Step your right foot slightly in, take your left leg high with an inhale breath, and you're going to sweep the foot behind the right hand. Lowering down onto both knees, uncurling the toes on the back foot, sliding that back leg away from you. So what you want to watch out for here is that back leg is too wide. You want to have the heel in line with your hip. You want to keep your hips square so we're not rolling out onto the right side. Finding some length through the spine, inhale, shoulders relax, gentle gaze up. Exhale, you're going to come down onto the elbows. You're going to breathe and stay here for a while, and if and when you feel comfortable, totally optional, you don't have to do this, you can lie down, breathing. Making sure that the belly is relaxed. You're not tensing in the belly, letting the heart move up in towards the spine. It's relaxed, everything is flowing. Using your breath as a guide now to make sure you're not pushing yourself too hard. So this is all just about softening, releasing, relaxing without forcing. Breathing deeply. Really working into those glutes on the left side, top of the hamstring. 3 more deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath here. Inhale and exhale. Slowly walk your hands in. Curl the toes on the back foot under. Inhale. And step back into downward dog. Exhale. Just gently pedal those legs if the calves are feeling a little tight. Even if the toes are feeling a little tired, you can roll back and forth on those feet a bit, rolling over those toes. Sometimes nice just to give them a bit of a massage. And then from here, stepping the right foot forward, finding yourself in a lunge. So options here are to lower the knee if you want, taking the heart up, or if you want, you can lock out that back leg, extending the left arm up. So knees either down or knees up, and we're breathing here. Think about taking the heart back, hips forward, shoulders relaxed. If you find your shoulders start to tense up now, you can lower that arm down. It just helps to add that extra dimension to the stretch. Breathing, inhale and exhale. 3 more breaths. Inhale, hips forward, heart back. Exhale, last breath here. Inhale and exhale, release. Uncurling the toes on the back foot, your front heel is glued to the floor and you're slowly walking your hands back. Find a long spine with an inhale breath and release, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Don't worry if this leg is not straight. You can have a bend in the knees, but straighten it out as much as you're able to, keeping this left hip over the left knee and you're not letting the hip pop out to the side. Keeping the foot active with the toes pulling towards the face. Watch that you're not scrunching into those ears, into the shoulders. It's a long torso, long spine. 2 more deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Slowly coming forward, planting your palms flat. Curl the toes on the back foot. Inhale, step back into downward dog. Exhale. Pedaling those legs or rolling the toes, or even just looking from side to side. Step left foot center, take right high with an inhale breath. Sweep it behind the left hand, half pigeon. Another thing you want to watch out for in your pigeon is that your knee is a little wider than your shoulder. You don't want to have the knee in front of the body like this. So it's out to the side. Your left hip is over this right heel. Find a long spine with an inhale breath. Your back leg is in line with your hip. And exhale. Be here for a few breaths, and if and when you want to, you can come down all the way. Breathe deeply. Feel the belly expand and contract over that right leg. Long inhalations, long exhalations. Watch for any unnecessary tension creeping to the jaw. Really working on opening the glutes on that right side, the top of the hamstrings. Two more really deep breaths here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Slowly lifting your torso up. So the breathing part of yoga is very important because without the breathing aspect, we're simply just stretching. Okay, so you're really looking to breathe nice and deep and be mindful of the body and the breath. So from here, we're going to come into butterfly. We're going to draw the soles of the feet together. I'm just going to turn this way. You're going to have your pelvis close to your feet. Your fingers are on top and your thumbs are underneath the feet. You're sitting tall, so try not to round into the back here. You want a nice open chest, long collarbones, and we're just going to gently bounce those knees. So another place where runners tend to be quite tight is in the groin. So if you find your knees are up here, not to worry. You're just working gently at softening through the groin. Watch the shoulders, keeping them down and away from the ears. Long, deep breaths here. And then keeping the legs nice and still. The elbows come close to the hips, or if you Can't get them close to the hips, you can slide them a little bit down, and you're gently going to push those knees down to the floor. Just go gently. Watch for the upper body. Try not to let this kind of a thing happen. So you want to send your heart out of your chest, shoulders down and away from the ears, and you're just using those arms now to push the knees down. Breathing here. Think about heart going over those toes. Inhale. Exhale as you soften. Inhale. Exhale as you soften. 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths. Exhale. Last breath here for me. Slowly releasing yourselves up. Straightening out your legs. Coming into Paschimottanasana. So let's all start off with bent knees. On your sit bones, fleshy part of your bottom is out. Inhale, arms come up, shoulders drop. Exhale as you reach over those legs. From here, if you want to, if you're not getting any stretch in those hammies, you can wiggle those hips back, walking them back. Keeping a nice long spine. So not letting this happen to the back. You want to move the heart forward, release the shoulders down, soft gaze towards the ankles. Breathing here, big space between shoulders and the ears, so not letting this happen. Inhale, heart moves forward. Exhale, shoulders release. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, 2 more breaths here. Exhale, last breath here. Inhale, you're going to slowly make your way up. Finishing off with a little twist, so it's always good to do a bit of twist to keep the spine healthy. Taking your knees into your heart, inhale, arms wide, exhale, dropping the knees towards your left as you look out towards the right hand. If you've got very tight ITBs, what you might want to do now is just straighten out that top leg. So don't worry if it can't come completely straight. Leave the knee bent if you need to. Relax through those shoulders. Long breaths here. Last breath here for me. And exhale. Inhale, draw your knees back to your heart. Little rock. And moving on to the other side. Arms wide. Looking towards the opposite hand. If you can, straightening out that top leg, grabbing onto the foot. Press to the heel. Relax and breathe. 5 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, last breath here at the end of the exhale breath. Hug your knees back to your heart. Grab onto opposite elbows. Try to keep your bottom close to the mat as your chin stays close to the floor. Rolling onto your side. And then gently lifting yourself up. I hope you enjoyed the 3rd and final installment of our Yoga for Runners challenge. If you enjoyed this challenge, be sure to look out for our more comprehensive 8-week Yoga for Runners program. We'll be announcing registration soon. We'll be covering topics such as yoga foundation, breathing, sun salutations, core and posture, stretching those tight areas, lower legs, hips, feet, and everything you need to know to become a healthier, stronger, and happy runner, preventing injuries and staying injury-free. So we'll be announcing registration and giving you more details very soon, so keep your eyes open for that, and I hope you have a great day. Namaste.